Hey guys, looks like it's that time of the year again. E3 2015 kicking off today, or probably yesterday if you're watching this video now. Um, and we're gonna take a look at Microsoft's conference, and it was quite a good conference. It may have been their best conference in the past 5 years, honestly. Um, they opened up strong. They started off with Halo 5 Guardians, their mainstream Microsoft's flagship game, and I was it was decently impressive. I mean, the campaign level wasn't that exciting, but it looked like Halo. I mean, the squad-based combat looks kind of cool. Honestly, what I believe they should have done is, since it's going to be the Master Chief's blue team versus Sergeant Locke's Osiris team, I believe. Yeah. I honestly think what they should have done is started the campaign mission in Master Chief's team's perspective, and then done like a cutaway or fade away, and then did it back in Sergeant Locke so we can see kind of like the change, if that makes any sense. But other than that, it was very solid. I'm pretty happy with the way the game looks. I mean, it is very visually impressive, and the story seems like it's not going to be a general like generic Halo story. It seems very mysterious. So I'm excited about that. And after that, they announced a new multiplayer mode called Warzone. It's a multiplayer mode that mixes AI with real players. So that was really interesting, actually, because I believe they are bumping the player count to 24 12v12. So a lot of big team battle fans out there, you guys will like that. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm usually more on the competitive side, but this actually looks fun. Like, I would want to drop in and play this. They showed a trailer, and the trailer was kind of hard to discern what exactly was the game type's like objectives. So I went back in and I read some more about it, and apparently these teams are going to have 12 versus 12, 24 players, and it's kind of objective based. Like, there's objectives around the map, and you get points for killing like bosses and killing the enemy, and the first team to reach like 1,000 points wins. And it's pretty cool concept. They have it seems like Invasion from Reach combined with like Firefight combined with Big Team. So it looks like a good fun. But moving on to their next exclusive they showed off, which was something I got extremely excited about, considering that it is made from the creators of the original Metroid Prime, like one of the best freaking games ever made. Sorry, my fanboy showing, but Metroid and Mega Man are actually the some of the creators on this new first party project. It's called Recore. They didn't actually show any gameplay. It was kind of a small CGI trailer, but it looked interesting. And coming back to the trailer, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like every video game girl character nowadays, like, looks like Ellen Page. Like, every single one of them. Like, this girl in Recore, The Last of Us, before they had to change her face over again. Even Laura Croft, which I'm going to come to in a minute, they looks like they changed her face a little, and it looks... I don't know. Like, does every game developer have, like, a secret crush on her or something? Because, seriously, so many characters are starting to just have that, like, that look. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, Recore looks interesting. It seems like it's going to be kind of a puzzle first-person shooter, maybe third person. She had a gun, so I'm assuming it's going to be a shooter. And she was able to remove these giant cores, I guess, and like put them in different mechanical machines. So like the little dog that she walks around with in the desert becomes like a big robot at the end. So that looks like it could be cool. But yeah, just that, I don't know. I can't really say much about it just because it was a CGI trailer, but just from its creators, it looks pretty exciting. And then after that, they went on to show more Fallout, which was all right. I mean, we saw it yesterday or the day before yesterday at the Bethesda conference, and it looks pretty impressive. Like, I was very, very impressed by the amount of because when the trailer first came out, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, well, dang, like this barely looks better than Skyrim. But actually, when you get to see it like playing in action, first person, and they're doing the conversations with dialogue, and you see the VAT system all over again, it has I don't know. It's probably the lighting that really just does it for me, but it's got a very nice look to it. But yeah, that was nice. They showed some of the facial construction and all of that. And one thing I did find that was really cool is they have pre-recorded names. So like they have like 1,000 of the most used names already recorded. And so that was, because I've always wanted that in a video game. Like, would it be awesome if like you could have a name and they'd just be able to say it? I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't work for people like Sacagawea or something like that, but I thought that was really cool. And then, let's see. Oh, also with Fallout 4, they announced cross-mod support between the PC and Xbox One. I also found out later that it won't just be the Xbox One, it will also be the PS4. So it's not like a big deal that the Xbox One's getting it because it's multi-platform, but that is a huge, huge step in the right direction for the console, like PC parity, I guess you would call it. And I don't know exactly how they're going to go about it, because there's a bunch of mods and stuff for like Skyrim and Bethesda's older games which use the creation system, and I feel like the Xbox One and the PS4 may have a hard time running some of those, especially like the graphic upgrades and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'll have to pre-approve it beforehand, which I imagine they would have to, but we'll see. It's just really cool that we're actually going to see some kind of mod support for the consoles. Like, been waiting for that for years. And then EA came out and they showed off Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I mean, I never played the first one, but I heard it was good. So, I mean, I guess you wouldn't have to completely disregard it. It's Plants vs. Zombies. It's a third person shooter, and it kind of seems, it reminded me a lot of Horde mode, like from Gears of War and stuff like that. And it looks like it could be interesting. So I'm gonna keep my eye out and see how that does. And then we got the next Forza game. I bought Forza 5, and I mean, it's a Forza game. I can't complain. I'm not huge into simulation racer games, so I wasn't so super excited. That was kind of like when I took my bathroom break, because it was same old trailer. But I think they said they're getting dynamic weather and night and day systems, so that is really cool actually, because I know the community from the Forza and the racing community really requested that, and it didn't make it into 5, so I'm glad that it makes it into 6. Ooh, and Dark Souls 3, which there was a lot of rumors beforehand. There was a huge leak, pictures everywhere. So it wasn't a big surprise, but it's kind of concerning that it's literally happening a year after Bloodborne, which happened a year after Dark Souls 2, on top of Bloodborne happening right next to this Scholarly Sins DLC one that came out. I think that's what it's called. And I don't know. It's just they either have a humongous studio and split the projects, or I don't know. I usually don't like annual releases like that. And I mean, Dark Souls and Bloodborne have never really proved me wrong. Bloodborne, amazing game. I really recommend if you have a PlayStation 4 to play it. But I don't know. It's very foreboding, I guess. Is just that knowing that just came out this year, and then next year is this when Dark Souls 3 comes out. I mean, we'll see if they can hold the quality, but again, it was just a CG trailer, I mean, a cool CG trailer. Like I liked the tone and feel of it. Very cool. Had a giant knight at the end standing as his like cloth was burning, so that was cool. But very I'm gonna be very cautious with that title. I'm just gonna see how that goes out because, again, yearly stuff I'm just not a huge fan of. Let's see. The Division was next, which was I've kind of been excited for this game. It seems like it's been in development for a while, so I've kind of lost a little bit of the hype that I had for it, but it looks very interesting actually. They have a open beta actually coming out exclusively to the Xbox One this December. They didn't say an exact day, but I'm excited. Like I will play that beta and I probably will purchase the game just because very interesting like open world kind of like DayZ-ish, I guess, but not really. It's not that survivally, but it just I mean, it looks beautiful. If you ever see any of the pictures or videos of them just like going through the city, I believe they're in New York, and you'll see like the cars light like dynamic lighting like going up in the smoke, and oh, it's just so cool. um Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. This game, I don't know how to feel about it. When they announced it last year at E3, it looked really good. Like oh, I got so excited about that trailer. And then like now that the beta and the alpha or whatever stage it's in came out, and yeah, I'm actually seeing like the quality of it. It looks like, I feel like Counter-Strike Go looks better graphically. I mean, that might be a stretch, but I feel like at least it's on par. The destructibility's cool, but I feel that that might be a little gimmicky. I think again that this is trying to ride on the success of like Counter-Strike in that FPS like esports community. So we'll see how that turns out. I've lost a lot of excitement for it though, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see. Very interesting title. Gigantic was actually on my radar before when they first announced it. It's a MOBA that's kind of a third person MOBA, I would guess, or first person. I don't know. They released a trailer, and it was basically just like a montage glamour reel, and it looks interesting. I'm excited that more console MOBAs are coming into existence because I have Smite for the Xbox One, and I enjoy it. Like it runs very well. The controls are beautiful on it, and it transitioned really well. So Gigantic, I like the art style, and I like the fact that like your little Nexus spaces are actually monsters like moving with you. So I feel like that will give it a new element that it needs to freshen up the MOBA saturated market, I guess, because a lot of MOBAs are coming out. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. That is also getting a beta for the Xbox One in August. And I'm pretty sure this is exclusive for Xbox One and Windows 10. After that, they kind of went into the indie games, their ID Xbox games. There was 4 of them that they actually like went in and had the developers, the independent developers, like come out and talk on stage, which was cool because I'm glad that they actually are getting the credit that they deserve, and they get to show face instead of just being Phil Spencer, whoever would be up there just like, all right, we got this, and that'll be coming out this, and this. So they didn't show off too much of it. They gave like maybe 30 to 40 second like small tiny gameplay like trailer clips. The one that the 2 that I'm kind of most excited about is Cuphead and Ashen. Cuphead is it kind of reminds me of Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid, words. But it's got a very cool art style. It's like 1930s cartoon, and that is super super cool to me. That is the art style, and that we're going to actually like. It just looks so smooth. The animation looked awesome. So I'm really excited about that. I'll probably purchase that day one. Ashen was interesting because it reminded me of most of like the survival games you see today that like go into early access, but it kind of, I love the art style to it, and it just, the world. It's not your generic like, oh, we're in dinosaurs. Oh, we're in Camelot. Oh, we're in Chernobyl. I don't know. Anyways, it was kind of like a fantasy survival game, so that's cool. Really cool. They showed Beyond Eyes, which is like this blind girl walking around. I mean, not my cup of tea. It's very artsy, so if you're into like those artsy indie games, it's probably for you. Tacoma, I honestly don't remember much from it. Yes, I do. That is actually from the developer of Gone Home, the that indie game that did really well, where it was like this girl traversing a house, and so that looked really good. That did look kind of cool. Except instead of a house, they're like in space this time, and she's like trying to figure out what happened to like the space station. So kind of like Dead Space feely, but without all the zombies and shit. So cool stuff. Ion is the next game from the creator of DayZ. Have really no idea what the game is about. It's like the gist I got out of it is set in space, and there's a lot of space stations. Very just vague trailer, and I don't know. It's from the creator of DayZ, so I'm not so sure about getting on board with that. Just based on the quality of like DayZ after years and years of it supposed to be being worked on, it's still all buggy and crap. I don't know. I don't trust that guy. He's I just don't trust him. Rise of the Tomb Raider. This game has been the topic of debate lately with the whole exclusivity thing with Microsoft. We're not sure exactly if it's completely timed exclusive or what the heck's going on, but a lot of people are like up in arms. I thought it was a smart business standpoint. From a business standpoint, I believe it was a smart move. I mean, Microsoft needed something to compete with the Uncharted series, so this is Microsoft's Uncharted now, and I feel like it's unfair to blame Microsoft for that, because I mean, shit, look at Sony. They bought out Street Fighter 5, which they have confirmed will not come to any other system. So, like, to each his own. But the actual gameplay they showed of it, I don't know. I feel like they could have picked better quality stuff to put instead of just a climbing sequence and then a running sequence. The glamour reel at the end where they showed her actually like raiding tombs and like these exotic environments was really cool. Like, I got excited about that. But the actual like gameplay, they showed her climbing up an ice wall. That was cool. The ice wall shook. She fell. She climbed the ice wall again. She fell. She climbed the ice wall again. And she started running through snow like an avalanche, which was kind of cool, I guess. But it didn't really show like the gameplay element, like the shooting mechanics and all of that. That was from, I don't know. It looked like I was kind of watching the first Tomb Raider game. Not the first one, but the first one from this company, Crystal Dynamics. And I don't know. I feel like they could have showed the game off better. I mean, graphically, it's very impressive. And actually, going back to when I was talking about Recore and the way that everyone looks like Ellen Page, I swear to God, look at Lara Croft's face and tell me they did not like completely change it. I mean, her face got a little fatter, a little chubbier, and I don't know, like Ellen Page just comes to mind whenever I see a girl like portrayed like in their late teens, early 20s, and like, I'm telling you, dude, all these game developers like have the biggest heart on for Ellen Page. All right, after that is Rare Replay, which was a nice surprise, actually. I'm pretty excited about it, actually, because it is a collection of 30 Rare games. So basically, all the games Rare has ever made, besides like maybe GoldenEye because licensing issues. But it looks like I am really excited about that, because I used to have Banjo-Kazooie and Battletoads, but I never did get to play Conker's Bad Fur Day. And for $30 and to get all those other games and stuff, including like even the new like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, like I'm pretty pumped about that, actually. Like, I got a little giddy. Like, The nostalgia, I will say the nostalgia like plays a huge part. I mean, that is a big chunk of next gen gaming is nostalgia now these days with all these remakes. But still, I will probably be purchasing this on August 4th. So that was interesting. And then one of my favorite parts, maybe of the whole conference, was actually Rare's new IP they showed off, which is like it's called Sea of Thieves, and it kind of strikes me as like a Guns of Icarus slash adventure slash like Assassin's Creed esque multiplayer experience. And they were showing off like actual gameplay. It has a very Rare style like art style, and it just looked really cool. Like I could see, I'm using the word cool a lot, but it looked very interesting. Let's say I put it that way. They had like you and your crew on a ship, and you're like having them walk the plank with all these sharks, and you're like actually having ship to ship combat with other crews. So I don't know if it's like an MMO type deal, like Arcade or something, or if it's just like DayZ where they have a bunch of people in one server and you just kind of find people. But that looked really, really cool, or really, really swell, nifty, neat. And I'm actually super excited about that. I've always wanted a pirate game to come out, like a decent, like legit pirate game where you can raid people's ships and you can go look for treasure and all that cool stuff. So that is definitely on my radar. Definitely, it's coming out holiday 2016 apparently, and so that will be not this year, next year. So we've got a while before that comes out. So we'll probably see it again next E3, but it looks pretty cool. Next up is Fable Legends. Oh boy, this game. I feel like Microsoft's just trying to keep them relevant now, I guess. I feel like every conference or every time they advertise their like lineup, they're just like, oh, and don't forget Fable Legends over there in the back corner by the punch bowl. He is still coming out sometime. And I remember they were just like, it's going to be free to play now, because I know everyone like was just like, oh God, this game. So I don't know. It could be fun, but I really don't see myself playing it for like long periods of time. I'll give it a try. I mean, I'll always give a game a try. So we'll see how it is. It just doesn't look that interesting to me. And I haven't been a Fable fan since like Fable 2. So yeah, I'm kind of over that. And then they started to close out the conference with the Gears of War, which was cool because not only did they announce Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is a remake of the first one, but Gears 4, which looked amazing to me because it kind of went back to that darker tone of the first one. Like they started, instead of it being like in this huge like battlefield, like big muscly men everywhere, they actually like had this guy. I don't know if he's like, he looks like Baird in a way. Like I don't know if it's Baird's son or Marcus and Anya's son or something. But it started out with this blonde guy and this girl that kind of looked like Sam, and they're like walking through the dark woods, and they come up to this like windy town. It's all dark and mysterious. You don't know what they're chasing down. It's like they're trying to find this monster, and it's just got this very ominous, like dark, gritty Gears of War 1 feel, which was easily my favorite in the series just because of the atmosphere. So I am really, really excited about Gears of War 4. I think that it might be the big like revitalizing that it needs, because I mean Gears of War never really had a low point. Gears 3 was very bright to me and very like vibrant, and I guess like that's good because it gives each game its own tone. So I'm not like dissing Gears 3, but Gears of War 3 for me, there was just so much going on, you know, like multiplayer wise, like all the stuff. And I'm glad that like it looks like they're going back closer to roots, and it just can't wait for that. Also going back to Gears of War Ultimate Edition, they did announce a 1-week beta that was starting today or yesterday, when considering when this video comes out. And it will be some of the multiplayer maps you know and love. Like I saw some gridlock gameplay, and I'm not gonna lie, the game looks good. I mean, they did a good job remastering everything and retexturing and all that. And apparently they also added some certain aspects from like the Gears 3 games and or the Gears 3 games and Gears 2. They added like weapon skins, all kinds of other cool stuff. So it's still the same Gears of War 1 you know and love, but it's got a little extra coat of paint on it, little extra features. So I'm excited about that. I will be playing that as soon as I get my freaking code. Actually, while we're talking, let's see if that actually happened. And no, it did not. So whenever that comes in, we will test that out and see how it plays. Very excited. Oh, there are actually two things that I wanted to save for last because they were probably the biggest moments of the conference, and that was the backward compatibility announcement, which is huge for Xbox. Like it's one of those things where they actually are going to have like some kind of advantage over the competition instead of just like releasing the same stuff. And from the PlayStation conference I saw later, I did not see any actual announcements towards backward compatibility. So I think it's the Xbox One exclusive that they needed. I mean, exclusive feature, but it's not going to be like today. Like you can go and put a game in and it'll run. Like there's a list for preview members that came out yesterday or today, and if you have that game, you can put the disc in, or you can go on your download on the store and install it onto your one, and it will play the 360. It actually makes a virtual Xbox 360 dashboard and everything, and so it's really cool. And they really needed that. I'm so excited because my other Xbox 360 is it's about had it, and I'm just glad I can move it out of the way, like to have more space on my entertainment center. So very, very big win for Microsoft. Like that was the moment that they said it, and freaking Phil Spencer dropped the mic and walked off stage. He even words are hard. He even gave a little jab to Sony there, which was nice because usually you see Sony our system, we got a big dick, so we like to show our games being handed to other people, and just poking fun of Microsoft. So it was good to see them actually get a blow back in. So that was huge moment for them. Along with that, they also announced a new Xbox Elite wireless controller, which looks very, very cool. I actually want to pick it up because they have a very interesting looking D-pad on this one that looks like it could be really good for fighting games, actually. And the D-pad can switch to a normal directional D-pad too. Like the cool thing about this controller is you can switch all the parts around. It's got hairline triggers, all kinds of stuff. You can extend the joysticks for precision aiming. Very interesting. I think it is $150 retail, so it's expensive, but you're paying for a pro official first party customizable controller. So very interesting. I'm glad it wasn't just the 360 mic port like everyone thought it was going to be. Biggest part probably is Microsoft's little VR. That was the highlight. The huge, everyone went crazy when it happened. They announced that they are going to be partners with Valve VR, which I was like, damn, man, because they recently announced partnering with Oculus. So that's two VR companies they have in their pocket. So I guess they needed that to combat in Sony's Project Morpheus, which I think is a very smart move. They didn't really show anything. It was just an announcement. But you're not going to technically be able to play it on your Xbox One directly. You'll have to stream it to your PC, your Windows 10, and then use the Oculus to play the Xbox One games. So technically they are playable. Xbox One games are playable with the Oculus, or some of them will be, who knows. But you need some kind of Windows 10 device that can handle it. So yeah, cool stuff. Cool, very cool. The HoloLens Minecraft presentation that probably got the biggest crowd reaction of E3, honestly. That or Final Fantasy VII. Sorry if you didn't know already, but you should, because it's all over the internet. But yeah, HoloLens's Minecraft presentation was crazy. I thought it started out kind of lame. He was playing it on a wall, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it's like, whatever, dude. Like, just TV. I was like, please tell me this isn't all they're gonna show me, because like all that money just for that. And then he was like, you know what? Let's move over to this table. And so they had like a table set up on stage, and he said world create, so it had like voice responses, and the table just like started to cave in, and like all the sand started dropping, and the whole world just built itself, and this huge, like, everyone lost their minds. And just the technology is just like jaw dropping. I'm sure it won't be exactly like that in retail. Like, take this with a grain of salt. But since it was like working on live code, and that's like what the actual consumer version is supposed to look like, I'm pretty excited about it. Like, he was moving around the world and like changing it, and oh my goodness, you could actually see other players in real time, like moving around as he's like being God over this entire thing. Like, if you ever have a chance to go watch something from the conference, I would recommend going to see that, just to blow your mind. I was very, oh boy, I was mind dropped, like, right there. But again, take it with a grain of salt. I went over a few things. New games coming to EA Access, blah blah blah, Titanfall, yada yada yada. Dragon Age Inquisition, cool title. Also, EA Access will be free for Xbox Live Gold members this week. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you can download the game and just have it since you got it from the vault, or if you have to have a current going subscription. I would assume you have to have a current going subscription. But yeah, that's cool, I guess. If you like sports games, EA. Cool. Xbox game preview. Oh, I completely forgot about this. This is actually another big feature, is the like Xbox's early access, and that's gonna be like your Daisies and your Ark survival games, all those games that you see on Steam, and that kind of irks and worries me, because a lot of that's just a very touchy subject, is early access. But one reassuring thing that Xbox is doing is that you will be able to play trials of these games before you jump in. Like, so instead of like risking it, you at least have a little bit of time to play it, see if it's like a buggy mess that you never want to touch again, or if you're actually going to want to support it. So that was really cool. And that is actually the end of the conference. And with that, I would probably rank this, like I said before, as Microsoft's best conference in about the last 5 years, honestly. They showed games, they reassured the customers, they backwards compatibility, huge feature everyone's been asking for. They were the first to do it, and they're actually, I'm a liar. Does the Wii U do it? Well, they're the first to do it between the Xbox and the PlayStation. But yeah, it's a very reassuring conference, and they put a lot of faith back to the gamers. So I'm very happy that they were able to get over that hurdle of E3 a couple years ago, that godforsaken mess. But yeah, so overall in ranking, I would give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Very solid. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because they had low moments, like the moments with the Forza car coming down. Yeah, I get it, it's a car. It kind of slowed down the pacing. But other than that, very strong conference, and I am very impressed with this E3 so far. So if you guys have any questions, you can leave it down in the section below, and I'll probably get a look at them and answer them if I know the answer. So yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, more conference E3 coverage, just hit that subscribe button and leave me a like. You guys have a good day, and happy E3.